This video is sponsored in part by Squarespace. If you need a website or online store, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence.
Hello, what's going on, friends? So Tokyo is known as one of the style capitals of the world. And like any successful trendsetter, Tokyo always seems to be a few seasons ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to fashion. For example, I saw a lot of styles during a 2017 trip to Tokyo that were just becoming popular and in trend when I was leaving Australia 1.5 years later at the beginning of 2019. Now, I'm not exactly someone that closely follows every trend and needs every in item. I do like to have a somewhat individual fashion sense. I am also quite critical of the mass production of clothing and the fast turnover of styles that you see in fast fashion. However, I work in fashion, I do sewing for a living, and for that reason I find fashion and trends really interesting. I do notice that the items that I sew and thrift and ultimately wear on my body will be somewhat inspired by what is currently popular. It does seep through. Because I am fascinated by fashion, I was very excited to go both window shopping and people watching in Tokyo and observe what kind of items and styles are the most popular at the moment. I have observed 3 major styles, which I shall bring to you in just a moment. So we're going to be talking about those, and just by the way, because it's what I sew and wear on my own body, I am going to be primarily talking about what is considered women's fashion in this video. Let's get started.
My journey begins here with this Japanese fashion magazine from April 2019. In both April and May 2019, many Tokyo fashion magazines were declaring a new major trend, and that trend is the Parisian style. Now, if you saw my video where I shopped my own wardrobe, you will know that I decided to transition to a French-inspired style myself around about March. So I was feeling pretty chuffed with myself because either by total coincidence or perhaps subconscious osmosis because of being within the fashion world, I decided on my French-inspired style about a month before leaving for Tokyo, meaning when I arrived here to live for 3 months, I was very on trend. In Japan, there is a lot of romanticization of French culture. French influences are not only seen now in fashion, but they also inspire a lot of architecture and design throughout Tokyo and the rest of Japan. But let's talk about the current Parisian look. There's 2 distinct French-inspired looks popular in Tokyo right now, but they can either be worn separately or mashed together in some pretty cool combinations. The first is quite a feminine look, like femme fatale from a 1940s noir set in France. The other is a more androgynous or masculine style, reminiscent of an early 20th century French dock worker. As I've implied, both are heavily vintage-inspired looks. So let's talk about that first one, the feminine French style. It involves almost always red lipstick, paired with, of course, a beret or a straw boater hat. A necktie or a scarf is essential. Another feature is clothing that looks tailored, for example, these tailored looking shirts, skirts, pants, and dresses. The shoes that are paired with this style are often ballet flats and sandals. T-shirts with French slogans are a casual way to wear this look. And the colours of these outfits will often feature soft colours like pastel pinks and blues, a lot of beige and brown tones, mixed with bright red, white, navy, and black for a contrasting effect. Patterns are minimal and when seen are either small polka dots or small-scale floral prints, which is a trend that we will revisit in a moment. The more androgynous or masculine French style that I mentioned earlier is made up of some of the following elements. Berets, like in the previous examples, make another appearance here, and so do what I'm calling train driver hats. Fudge magazine calls them workers' caps, which I don't think is a great name translated into English, so whatever these hats are called, they're very popular. Tailored looking high-waisted fitted pants are a big element in many of these outfits, and they are often wide-legged or flared at the bottom and accessorized with a black or brown vintage style belt. Oversized linen shirts and coats worn as outerwear are a big trend. Blazers and vests, stripy t-shirts, and the shoes are often big chunky boots or brogues. The dominant pattern for this look is stripes, and colors are generally plain white and black paired with lots of beige and browns, dark greens, or red and navy. probably noticed that both of these two looks often incorporate straw basket handbags. This is one of the major fashion trends all over Tokyo at the moment, whether the outfit is going full Parisian or not. Straw handbags. They can be found in basically every trendy clothing store in Tokyo at the moment, and most thrift stores that I visit as well, as straw basket bags can readily be found secondhand, recycled from when they were last a massive trend in Tokyo, which was only back in 2010. In fact, they're also a popular element of the next major trend that I'm going to talk about, which I'm going to call the natural botanical look. This style involves florals, many florals. The florals are usually micro florals, small in print rather than large, and both pastel colored florals and bright colors are all quite popular. I've seen a lot of floral vintage style dresses while window shopping. Materials like linen are big players in this natural botanical look. Perhaps influenced by the wave of sustainable fashion over the past few years, natural-looking fibers like linen, organic cottons, hemp, and new fibers like microtencel and modal are being used increasingly and are very much incorporated into this look. Button-up items like shirts and dresses are a big element of this trend as well, and the buttons used are often wooden or have a shell-like texture. They look inspired by nature. Most items for this look are less fitted and more flowy, or perhaps pair one tight-fitted item like a tight-fitting shirt with wide-leg pants and a flowy overshirt. And colors in this look tend to be those inspired by nature, so you're rarely going to see bright pinks or bright blues in this look. It's more defined by earth tones, browns and beiges, and plant-like greens. Along with floral prints, leaf prints are also quite popular. And finally, accessories are often made from jute fibers, natural materials, and straw. Again, straw is a huge part of this look. The natural botanical look is quite often paired with Parisian elements like berries and stripes, as the two styles blend very well together, so you've probably seen a lot of elements here that are shared between both styles. The last major style that I have observed in Tokyo is what I want to call cool Instagram teen / athleisure wear. This style involves items such as fanny packs, but not worn around the waist, worn around the body diagonally like this, sneakers or Converse style shoes, or dad sandals is what I would call this type of shoe, bucket hats, oversized t-shirts. This look also definitely features some American and Korean and K-pop fashion influences, and I mostly see younger people, so more like 30 and under, wearing this kind of style. Some other features are the use of athletic or athleisure wear, and incongruous and often clashing colors and patterns. This is definitely a more gender fluid, androgynous look. You'll see people of all genders sporting the items from this style. It's not more reserved for quote-unquote women's fashion as the previous styles I talked about have been. And finally, it's also very early 2000s influenced as well. You can find early noughties elements like platform shoes, tie-dye, checkerboard print, bucket hats, mesh, and rave wear, and the look is often pulled together with an early 2000s inspired hair and makeup look as well. I don't really own many items that could be classified into this style because it is probably the trend that is least like my own current style. So I won't be showing you an example of this one worn by me like I have for the others. So here's other people wearing this style in magazines. These are all from a few free magazines and pamphlets that I picked up around stores in Tokyo that I think encapsulate this style well.
Now, this is Tokyo, where individual and unique styles are very much celebrated and encouraged. Remember that these are just my observations of what is the popular fashion in Japan, and not gospel of all the current subcultures and niches and individual styles, the variety that you see in Tokyo. Nor is it a statement on how you should dress. Most importantly, with all the talk of trend and style, please don't feel like you need to follow a particular trend or dress a certain way to be stylish or important. You should wear whatever makes you feel your best. Whatever it is that makes you feel most comfortable in yourself and the most happy. This video is all about Tokyo fashion trends because I find fashion trends really interesting, especially somewhere where the fashion is such a big part of the culture as it is in Tokyo. So I hope you found it interesting too. And now a message from our sponsors who make today's video possible. So, you know what's frustrating about the internet? Social media algorithms. As a lot of artists and businesses know, getting your stuff actually seen, on social media, it's hard and it can be soul crushing. When you're trying to promote your stuff on there, you're completely at mercy of these little pieces of code that dictate so much of our life called algorithms. So sometimes it's nice to have a space on the internet that you completely control yourself. And that is what my Squarespace website, AnnikaVictoria.com, is to me. It shows all the information I want and the photos and videos that I want to be seen without being eaten up by someone else's 200 photos of their baby shower. In fact, do away with having to be on social media all the time by making use of Squarespace's inbuilt marketing tools like email campaigns that help you as a business or an artist keep connected to the people and the clients that matter. I love having a space that's just all mine. Again, my Squarespace website is AnnikaVictoria.com. Go visit it. In fact, recently I've added something to my Squarespace website that gets around algorithms. A lot of you have been telling me lately that you aren't getting notifications when I upload a video, even if you dinged that little dingy bell that's supposed to do something, apparently. So, to regain some control from the algorithms, I used a feature on Squarespace to add a new page and then embed a playlist of all my newest videos. No matter the algorithms, my new videos will show up there. So if you're wondering, Annika hasn't posted a video in a while, is she okay? I haven't seen them on YouTube. You can go straight to AnnikaVictoria.com, very easy domain name to remember, and click on new videos, and all my new videos are there, updated as soon as I upload to YouTube, so you'll never miss any of my videos ever again. Another great feature about Squarespace is that you can get a custom domain name, and my custom domain name, AnnikaVictoria.com, has always ranked very highly in Google searches. So when people Google my name, Annika Victoria, my website is one of the first things that pops up. Another good thing is having total control over how your website looks, with no web design skills or coding necessary, and it still looks good because Squarespace has beautiful designer templates. Squarespace also has features so that you can set up and run an online store really smoothly, all from your Squarespace domain. So whether you run a business or you're an artist that needs to show off your body of work, Squarespace makes creating beautiful websites super simple. You can try out Squarespace today with a free trial. Just go to squarespace.com, no commitment necessary. And when you're ready to launch your website, go to squarespace.com/Annika to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you so much for supporting the companies that support this channel. I hope you're all having a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay crafty, everyone.
Thank you so much to the 600 Patreon supporters, the superhuman producers, and the small brands who are all a huge reason that I can make these videos available to hundreds of thousands of you for free. If you've learned lots from my videos, or if it's just the kind of stuff you want to see more of in the world, then vote with your dollars and consider supporting me on patreon.com/AnnikaVictoria as a member, or for a one-off contribution, go to ko-fi.com/AnnikaVictoria. Your support means the world.